You don't moisturize? My daughter, Jessica, is so Italian. You show her a picture of the sun, she turns dark. It's ridiculous. Yeah, the rest of my kids have all got my wife's French, Irish, half Italian skin, but not her. She got the pure Sicilian genes, yeah.
Committee of the Whole will come to order. The clerk will call the roll.
All right, this is the Committee of the Whole. This is Thursday, November 19, 2015. We're at 6 p.m. Councilor Del Sola.
Here.
Councilor DeFlorio.
Here.
Councilman Hingham.
Here.
I got Councilor Hill.
Here.
I got Councilor Napolitano.
Here.
And I have Councilor Lean.
Here.
We have 6 members present. We do have a quorum.
We do have a quorum. Please stand, salute the flag. I do have some regrets. Councilor Stephen Simonelli unable to attend due to medical reasons. Councilor Michael Marchese unable to attend due to medical reasons. Councilor Fred Capone unable to attend due to family commitment. And Councilor Sal Sachetta unable to attend due to prior commitment. The clerk would read the first order of
First
business.
piece of business. This is a resolution offered by Councilor Mike Casey that the community development explain the future improvements for Everett Square.
Council, I'll take a motion to refer this back to sponsor. I believe we've already gone through this.
I'll make a motion to refer it back to sponsor.
Yeah, on the motion,
Yes.
if I may.
Sure, Councilor Hanlon.
I note that Council Marquez was requesting it be referred back since it was in the Committee on Community and Business Development on October 26th, and he received an update. But I think it was just more than one person that referred this to this committee, and I don't want to refer it back just because one person is asking that it be referred back. Does anybody know why this is in here? And if there are improvements going on in Everett Square, should we be discussing them? Is there something being planned?
know.
Is there a master plan? Is something that said, anybody know anything about this that can answer the question?
Well, Councilor, I believe Councilor Marchese was the sponsor. He asked to refer it back to sponsor. So I believe that if we want to do anything with this in the future, that we could put it back on the agenda.
That sort of didn't answer my question, though, My question is there anything going on? I mean, it says, explain the future development and improvements going on to Everett, in Everett City Square. I mean, except for the Christmas tree, I can't see any improvements that are going on. Well, I didn't mean that to be fresh, I'm sorry, but it's a nice tree, it really is a nice tree. And,
Councilor, we have a report.
you will? Okay,
Yes,
all
the
right,
clerk
okay.
committees will give you a report. And
Okay, all right. I'll-
so I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Item number one's been referred back to sponsor.
All right, item number 2.
Just one more second, please, I'm sorry. The motion was to refer it to the board to refer it back to the sponsor, right?
Yes.
We can't refer it back to the sponsor, we have to refer it back to the board, refer it back to the sponsor, okay.
All right, item number 2. This is a resolution offered by Councilors Capone, Marchese, McKinnon, Napolitano, and Sachetta that the mayor appear at the next city council meeting to discuss the recent trip to Italy.
We've received a report. The other sponsors aren't here. They were actually more vocal on this matter. I would assume that we send this back. I would recommend it refers back to sponsor.
Second motion.
On the motion, Councilor Della Sola?
I think we have a few people in the audience that may answer some of our questions, if I know you're the sponsor.
I
on
have
this.
no questions. This thing is, I got my answers from the report and my prior research. I was asked to co-sponsor as a courtesy, so I have no questions.
Okay, I just thought maybe someone had questions that, I
We
don't have any
already,
questions.
we already got the report on it, so.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a motion to refer it back to sponsor. Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Clerk,
All right, item number 3. This is a resolution by Councilor Frank Capone that the city services the city engineer provide information regarding flooding concerns at Cottage Street.
Councilor, I believe we have,
rules, that this is to be laid over.
It needs to be laid over from
Is that
committee?
because the sponsor's not here? Motion to hold this over till our next meeting?
Is there anyone, did anyone come regarding this in the audience? I know there were some people here, right?
Yes, there are.
There are people from the audience? Okay. I think we should go ahead with it. And we do have people here, we should ask them to come forward.
Yes, Counsel Mangan?
Thank you. Counselor, to the clerk, John, can we just have the engineer come up, explain it, and then we can still, at the end, not do any,
No
come on and
recommendations?
Just hold it over, just give him the courtesy of at least
If-
coming up here.
If I could, though, then how does the sponsor get the information that he's looking for? I think
Well,
that the reason the rule is there is so the sponsor can get the information when they're here for their meeting.
Well, through you, Counsel, to Counsel Napolitano, and President, is that if we discuss it, I believe certainly, one, the clerk's gonna have notes on it. Second, it's gonna be on video, that the Council, President Capone can watch. And if we just refer it to the next meeting anyways, if he desires that we're gonna, he needs more questions asked or answered, then he can certainly, at the next committee of the whole meeting, certainly come back and ask those questions. But, I mean, the questions may get answered tonight if, from some of us asking them.
Well, I believe that what Counsel Napolitano is trying to say is the sponsor's not here, it's out of courtesy, that he's the one that would ask the questions. And according to our rules, it says that the sponsor has to be here. So I'm not gonna make the call, I'll have the clerk, he's looking up the rule right now. But I believe out of courtesy, if you're asking my opinion, I would refer it back to sponsor. Counsel Napolitano? Yes.
Yeah, I understand Council Magnan's concerns. I mean, I've been working myself as a common council in Ward 1, and working with the city, with the city engineer. This issue has been an ongoing issue for several years. And yes, I'm very anxious to get the information. But I'm not the counselor in Ward 1 anymore, and Councilor Capone is. I think that, yes, as much as I want to get information as the sponsor, he's got every right to be here to lead the questions for this. So, and I would stand by my motion to hold this over till the next
I know, I
meeting
live right
of
up the
whole.
street from there for 40 years, and I understand exactly
Absolutely.
where
I
he's
take-
coming
and I'm
from,
I
so,
live on Cottage Street.
right, so we
Yeah.
understand the problem.
Counsel, also, thank you, Madam President. The only other thing is that I know that Counsel Capone couldn't be here because of a prior commitment, but I don't know if he had asked to lay this over. Like we had from, like I said, was it asked to be laid over, or, like I said, I mean, out of courtesy, if he could have said, I want to speak on it, I'd like to have it laid over, please lay it over for me. I don't know if that was done. The other thing also, too, if you remember that night, I had put something on the calendar also, and it was kind of like simultaneously, so out of respect, because mine was under the worksheet calendar, and his was under the resolution, that out of courtesy to the president, I asked him, just, we sent it into committee as a whole, and we could speak on it then. So, I mean, I'm certainly willing to lay it over, but, I mean, I just think, the
Is it-
gentleman's here tonight, and I guess he had no information that he wasn't gonna be here, so I think, just out of courtesy, I mean, I think we should at least have him come up here, and, again, if the questions aren't asked, Counsel Capone can do it at the next meeting. So when, if there's any other questions, he can request, the engineer to come back.
Make a motion to have the engineer before us.
Well, he's going over the rules.
So it should be to a subsequent.
Yeah, according to the rule, it does have to go, unfortunately, to the next meeting. So, unless
Can we waive the rule?
the sponsor was unable to attend and gave us directions on what to do.
Meeting of this committee? Of this committee?
Which would be a committee of the whole.
Because my recommendation from the chair, I would say, let's refer it out to the meeting on Monday and invite these gentlemen up. We have a meeting on Monday anyways, our regular meeting, but, yeah, but I don't want to really change the rules as we go along, so,
Could we do that?
It says subsequent meeting. It doesn't specify.
Whether we can refer it back without a recommendation, so we can shift it.
because these gentlemen are here on Monday nights anyways, so,
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion. First of all, I'm gonna make a motion to waive, suspend that rule. We can
Okay.
do that.
I'm not sure you could do that, because you gotta remember, this is a city council rule, so all of them.
What, say again?
This is a city council
This,
Yeah.
rule, so all 11 members.
Or you're saying the committee can't waive?
yeah, it's a city council rule.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But we can refer it to the next meeting, which is the,
Yeah.
because it's a
Next
regular council
meeting of
meeting of
the-
a whole. It's not
It's a
just,
subsequent meeting.
yeah. So our next meeting would be Monday.
Well, no, that's actually what I meant by waiving.
So you don't have to waive, you just.
If I could clarify what my intent was to waive the rule requires us to move it to the next subsequent committee meeting, because this is a committee of the whole, the entire council with their Monday night. My next recommendation was that we refer to our Monday night meeting with no recommendation. That way there it can be discussed to the entire council. I was just trying to do it in a systematic manner. Okay, is that,
I would think,
all right, then, that's what my recommendation. I'm
I'll
gonna
second
motion
it.
that we refer this to our meeting Monday night without a recommendation, so that, as a whole council, we can discuss this matter.
Okay, so the motion is to refer it out on a Monday night meeting to the whole council with no recommendation. Do I have a sec? I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
On the motion? Yes, Councilor Hanlon.
You know, we refer things to the committee on the whole because of the fact that it's too lengthy or too bothersome to discuss it at the meeting of the city council. And, so we refer it here to discuss it. And aren't we doing the exact same thing that they just did, refer it back because we don't want to discuss it? And I think we have people here that, I mean, I could ask them some questions. I know a lot about the Spring Street area, what's going on down there, and I'd like to get an update in this committee where we can stop and ask questions and don't be rushed at what we're doing at a regular council meeting. So I'm gonna second Councilman Magnum's motion to have the people before us.
So you have two
But-
motions.
I have two motions on the table. So the first motion was to refer it to Monday night's meeting to the, with no, the rules state that you, it shall. It doesn't say you may. Shall. Shall.
Shall what?
You shall refer it, this piece can,
I have no objection to referring it back to the council.
but that's what the rules,
What do you mean, because the,
I don't think you could take the piece out, because it says the matter itself,
the sponsor
it shall be referred to a subsequent.
shall be referred. If the sponsor is not here.
Yeah,
if the sponsor's not here.
right.
In other words, the
Is that a
rules,
subsequent
the rules
meeting
state,
of this committee, of this body, or the council body?
Why don't we take a copy of that and give it to everybody? We'll take a 2-minute and have everybody read that rule so that we don't go back and forth. Let me see.
Rule 43.
We just have them read it. Rule council, read it.
43. Number 2.
If the sponsor does not appear at a committee meeting after having been requested to do so, the committee chairman shall instruct the clerk of committees to return the subject matter back to sponsor unless the committee has received prior notification
which we did.
from the sponsor that they will be unable to attend such meeting and that they would like to reschedule the measure for a subsequent meeting.
Council, Madam President, if I read if I heard that correctly, but he didn't designate what he wanted to do with that. He didn't say, like, if he said he couldn't make it and said, I want to refer it to the next meeting because I can't speak on it, it says, I thought it said something in there, the wording said something like, if he doesn't recommend anything and does anything, I still believe we could go on with the piece of business. I mean, maybe I understood it wrong, but that's the way I took it. Right, just saying he can't make it. It doesn't say that the business, I mean, if you could read that last section again, please.
You gotta remember, this is his piece of business.
I understand.
It's also his ward.
Right, I understand that, but it's usually, it's a courtesy to ask, I'm not gonna be able to make it, can you please lay it over to the next meeting? I'd like to speak on it, and there's some important information there, so, and that wasn't done as far as I know.
But the rules
No, but if, Counsel, if you could, I'm sorry, could you read the end of it, I just want to make sure, like I said, I don't want, these people are up here, they
It's
took
been
time
read
out of
three
the
times.
schedule to be here, I don't want to waste their time.
Well, they're gonna wind up coming back.
They have to come
so you're
back
gonna
either
come
way
back
for the
twice.
sponsor
Why
anyways,
make
so
them
why
repeat
answer the
themselves?
question twice? I'm sorry, gentlemen, that we, discussing this, and
Because we're playing the Bills Monday night.
Did we invite anyone to come to this meeting?
Thanks for picking up on that.
See,
On the motion, we need to respect our rules, because that's what they're there for. Yeah, we need to respect our rules, that's what they're there for. Yes, there's a gray area here because the rules state that, that accept the meeting if he requests it. But he did inform us that he won't be here. So, again, as the sponsor of that piece, and I'm very interested in getting these issues resolved and get answers for it. You know, these are not new issues. These are been issues I've been dealing with in Ward 1 for 15 years. So I'm very interested in getting the information. But this was referred to a committee of the whole. We have a quorum. Almost half of our number is not here. We have a regular meeting Monday night where there'll be more of our members there. I doubt very much Monday night's meeting will be just a quorum. The sponsor's not here, and he informed us that he isn't going to be here. It's his ward. He represents that ward. You know, if we don't respect the fact that as a counselor at large, who has been called out last year by some of our colleagues, and, you know, justifiably, not to, asking as a courtesy not to put pieces on the agenda that are ward-related without discussing it with the ward councilman, I think it's only fair that that same courtesy extends in every capacity.
I agree.
So as much as I want to get answers on those issues, that Spring Street flooding has been going on for decades. The Cottage Street flooding's been going on for decades, okay? Yes, I most definitely want to get an answer, but I don't want to sit here and have these gentlemen answer questions, only to come back Monday night and answer the same questions again. So I think that as much as I'm not crazy about the idea of asking them to come back, I think our rules dictate that, and as a courtesy to our council president, who also represents that ward, who's the sponsor on this piece, who is also putting it on because he has to answer directly to those constituents in those areas, as I have in the past, I think that we need to follow our rules, refer it to Monday night's meeting, we get the same people, everybody here should be there Monday night, we go over this piece once, not make them go through it twice. That's
Counsel Mangan?
thank you, Madam President. I certainly can respect Council Napolitano's, you know, where he wants to go with this, but it goes back to, we originally put this in committee a few weeks back because we thought it could be a lengthy discussion on this. So I have no problem holding it over, but to put it on the council meeting, we could be up here, as Councilor Hanlon stated a few minutes ago, we could be up here for an hour discussing this subject on Monday night. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take to discuss and who's going to have questions and how long this is going to depth. The reason we put it into committee at first, because there could be a lengthy discussion on it, and there quite could be a lengthy discussion. So to put it in our next council meeting, I don't think that's the right thing to do, because again, we could be in 1 hour on this one topic.
Let's call for the question.
But
I'm going to call for the
Call for the
question. I'm
question.
going to get roll call
Business.
vote. My first, okay. My first motion was to refer this to Monday night's meeting, the council as a whole, and, I had,
I second it.
I have a second. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Which is a subsequent motion, which proceeds as a motion. Main motion is always done last. Main motion is to go back to the committee. Subsequent
So we're gonna vote on the motion to subsequent? Okay, so the first motion is to hear the people in the audience. All in favor? I'm in doubt. Roll call. That's fine. Raise hands. That's yes?
Yes.
The noes have it.
Now on the second motion.
Second motion.
Second motion is to refer it to Monday night's meeting as council as a whole and invite the same guest at the meeting. All in, yes.
Just want to point out, where this says, the committee shall return the subject matter back to the sponsor. It doesn't say without further, conversation. So if we're gonna do something, John, we have to put that in there. Doesn't say, you can talk about it for 3 years and refer it back to the sponsor. We need all obeying our rules. So you have to put that in there. You say,
No, that's if he didn't notify us.
without further discussion. It doesn't say that.
We're not.
We're not.
We're not referring it back to sponsor. We're referring it to the meeting so the sponsor can speak on it. Subsequent meeting.
Without further discussion, that's what it should say there, because we should be able to discuss that. And I'm just pointing out a flaw in that thing.
Could you
It says
point out the
refer it back to
context of that,
sponsor.
of what he's
It says
saying?
refer it back to the sponsor without further discussion, on this meeting. Refer it back to what we're talking about, John? Refer it back to the sponsor, right in there, without further discussion. Because we should be able to discuss it, but if you wanna make that a rule, you gotta put that in there. Okay, so what do we do?
Yeah, but he doesn't make the rules, we do.
No, I know. I'm just saying that that's what we.
Councilors, if you feel that the rule something's wrong with the rule, then we can rewrite the rule. But right now, when there's a gray area, there's no sense of holding these gentlemen here. We've held them here for the last 25 minutes to discuss something that's either, we feel is a gray area. So, no, I'm not blaming anybody, Counselor, please, no, absolutely not. I said we, I didn't say, we need to change something, that's okay. Let's discuss it, let's change it so that this doesn't happen again. I'll take a motion.
We have a motion, you need to vote on.
We did, and we voted on it, didn't we?
No, we voted on the subsequent.
On the
motion. We had
subsequent,
no
I'm sorry.
motion on the primary motion.
So, on the other motion, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. This has been referred to Monday night's meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor? All opposed? The ayes have it. Have adjourned.